It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bears and the 49ers on Monday Night Prime Time.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Here's Richie James on the return. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Stafford on first down. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Stafford. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He's locked in early. 2 nice first down completions to start.
I like the fact that he's seeing the whole...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. On first down, it's Mitchell. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, 49ers! Elijah Mitchell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Here's James. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
fielded just inside the 30. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here. Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Off of play action, and here's Lance. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. I think that's Mack who's still down. Yeah, it is. Mack apparently shaken up there. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. They'll run on 1st down. It's Mitchell, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. 2nd down and 8. And to give this time to the tailback. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Niners lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 1st down at Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he's brought down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
The tackle by Eric Armstead. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw complete here to Kmet. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he sidestepped one man, but reinforcements come to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
And he's going to have the Niners first down. His good running gets him to about the 44. On play action, Lance. Flushed out right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Touchdown! A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Now Stafford. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. 1st and 10 here. If they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. That's complete right side to Kmet. Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays,
looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jaquiski Tartt. And the 49ers will take over possession here up at the 44.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. Oh, wide open, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Play action. Now it's Lance. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
The kick by Gold is good, and that will do it for this first half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Takes it at the 7. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. On 1st down, Mitchell. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
We may be looking at the score. This offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Mitchell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 92 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
That was a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd down, it's Mitchell. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And Sermon is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Lance going to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. That's Bears on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. Now a play fake. Lance rolling to his left. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Lance, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. First down. Here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Stafford. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Stafford. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's James. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play. Montgomery back to the ground. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Second down at 4. Here's Stafford. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Brown. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11th. To throw is Stafford. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Brian Burns able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now it's Stafford. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Touchdown, Bears. Cole Kmet, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead now down to 20. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell, and he'll go down at the 28. 132 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better really as the night's gone on. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. They'll find Ayuk open right side. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Niners extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Now James returning. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, Stafford here. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the Niners are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Gold to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Here's James. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the left. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Arik Armstead has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Jalen Guyton, the intended receiver, and it's third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. They'll run on first down. Mitchell. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 153 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win in